Hi everyone, my name is Juno. I have a health science background, and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy: How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is about the romantic compatibility between ENFPs and INTPs. But before we dive into this topic, I would just like to mention something about my book. It is for people who like to explore the anatomy, physiology of the 16 MBTI types and who want to improve their overall health using natural means, because my last chapter focused on that, and obviously that would include brain health. Let's go back to the topic at hand. What the ENFP and INTP have in common. Obviously, they're both intuitives. And in the case of these two personality types, the ENFP has extroverted intuition as its first function, and the INTP has extroverted intuition as its second function. So these are people who are good at brainstorming. They are about the abstract future. They like to generate ideas and they will appreciate that about each other. So they probably won't be bored on that level. The other point also is that although the ENFP is officially an extrovert and the INTP is an introvert, but because of the fact that they both have good energy compared to most personality types, it means that they probably will need time alone to recharge. So the ENFP will behave more like an introvert than, let's say, if that personality type was a sensor. So they will understand that their need for time alone to recharge. They're both perceivers. So these are people who need flexibility in terms of their schedule. They feel energized by what is unexpected. So they will appreciate about each other. They will give each other space to, again, have something that is not as structured or regimented. The other strong point when it comes to this pairing is that although the ENFP is an intuitive feeler, it has a rather well-developed thinking function because they have extrovert thinking as its third function. And obviously the INTP, being an intuitive thinker, has introverted thinking as its first function. So they were able to understand each other logically. But obviously, this couple will face challenges. The first one is that the ENFP is an intuitive feeler, which means that they are focused more on the human element and their relationships are very important to them. The ENFP, just like with other intuitive feelers, they're looking for a soulmate. So they want an emotional, spiritual bond with their mate. And so they're going to put quite a bit of emphasis on that. By contrast, the INTP is left brain down because it is an intuitive thinker and they're object oriented. So they put more emphasis on logic and they're more into math and science than really romantic relationship or human relationship in general. So they won't be able to probably see, eye to eye on that level. The other challenge is that as an intuitive feeler, they are most likely theist. So these are people who usually believe in a higher power, whereas the INTP is usually an atheist. So that might be an issue. So they won't be able to maybe discuss a more spiritual aspect of life. So the ENFP will feel sort of shortchanged, able to express themselves on that level. And the ENFP also tend to be very emotional. So these are people who like to bond. They tend to be really sort of like soft-hearted, whereas the INTP wants very much logic. So having introverted thing as its first function, they very much want internal logic whenever they're interacting. So they might not be able to fulfill the emotional needs of the ENFP. And the ENFP also tends to be very physically affectionate, and these are people who are very warm, and the INTP doesn't usually come across like that. So they might not be able to meet each other's needs when it comes to physical affection and how to actually, express their emotions in terms of a romantic context. So overall, this is a poor match because the ENFP is ultimately looking for a soulmate, someone they can bond with on an emotional, spiritual level, and the INTP won't be able to provide that. Yes, they are both intuitives, they're both perceivers, they both probably will need time alone to recharge because, again, the ENFP will probably behave more like an introvert than an extrovert, but when it comes to the context of the romantic relationship, they won't be able to see eye to eye, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect, because the INTP is most likely an atheist, and so the ENFP won't be able to sort of bond or discuss certain aspects of life. Although the ENFP having being extrovert thinking as a third function is rather logical, but probably the INTP's needs will be more fulfilled in that relationship than the other way around. So let me know if you agree or disagree with the content of this video by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.